Okay? I entered GS Medical College in 1951. Mine was the first SSC batch of 1989, and the first batch always had a misfortune of getting letters even 1 year after passing that we regret to inform you have failed. This was the history of SSC that time. And he used to often say, "Have you got a letter?" No. My time, actually, I was a very average student in school. And quite often my parents thought that I will run away from the school and not really study. But I had a very good teacher in one Mr. Sate, who my father had appointed for the SSC last year, for 2 years. He had one hand paralyzed by polio, but yet he was so dynamic. He used to also hit us if we make mistake. But he showed us the way of how to study. Then I was the first, that way for myself, not for many, that I got a scholarship for the students who entered Wilson College from Wilson High School. The amount was very small, 50 rupees. But that somehow or other triggered in me that I purchased one tea set, which is still with me, and give it to my mother. I didn't spend that money on any other thing. And in 1951, I was interviewed by Dr. Daigode. The interview was very simple. He was behind the dean's desk presenting. He was the opposite. And he will question some social questions. Why do you want to go doctor? What will you do? Will you serve the poor? Like that. He was a very sharp pathologist, I must say. And my percent was hardly 56%. When you see today, 56% in B, the inter-science B batch, was nothing. But I got revision very easily, no problem, no nothing, no favors, nothing. We were hardly 60 students in that batch, but we were multilingual. I still remember Dolly Irani and various other people. They were not one type, but various types. There were some who came from outside Bombay. Now they brought with them their own ethos, the village life or whatever it is. And quite that has actually made me a little more broad-minded person rather than what it be. My father died in 1955. Still, I was not a doctor. And one of the discussions between my father and mother that time used to be whether they can afford to put me through education. But luckily, my uncles and others helped me through. Obviously, though we had a fairly rich family, by the time I came to bring, we had fair amount of loan and like that. My father also very fond of dramatics, and he virtually committed suicide for that discipline, though he left a very big name. He had very many good friends, Moda, Thatur, Poledis, doctor friends, Sansgiri, Ramesh Sankari's father. They all looked after me in a way. GM Fadke was always a fellow who advised, and Baliga was colleague of my father. They both entered National College as a rebel against the British rule of JJ Hospital. Now very few know this small thing, and Dr. Baliga then went abroad. He was supported by, apart from his wife, he was supported by many other average people. He was a Saraswat, and he got money from them. He went. When he came back, though he was a person, his first post in KEM was anesthesia. Because people would not recognize LCPS. Now when you look back now, this recognition of degrees, etc. has been going on too long. Nobody realizes the potential, but gets bogged down by artificial this mark, that mark. And he was a brilliant surgeon, no question. And it was happened that when I passed in 56, my father in 55, last 6 to 9 months I spent in hostel. And one of my colleagues that time who looked after me was Dr. Bavdekar. He would get up at 3 a.m., prepare tea for me, kill off all the bugs, etc. in the bed, and there he'll sleep below and say, "Bye, you tell me whatever you want, I will get up." Now this sort of thing nowadays you don't see. That time this was taken for granted, that your friends will do for you. And when I passed, I had a gold medal in anatomy in that, what is that?
Not Gir.
Huh?
Not Gir.
No, not Gir, before P, start from P. Anyway, it was meant for first student coming in male. It was a university gold medal. My competitor was a Parsi girl from JJ. And that time always people say, "Ki uska exam hai ye." But when I look back, I felt that that sort of setback was good. Because that taught me a lesson that you never will be perfect. You have to grow with this. That time the standard in GS was to teach the junior staff. We had 2 years anatomy, physiology, biochemistry. We had an excellent dissector that Ramchandran, I still remember. For me, the most important anatomy teacher was K.D. Desai. Pereira was there. Not VP Mehta, which is like PM Mehta. PM Mehta was like a book, Cunningham and Gray. He would tell us, and he had all the mnemonics on his seat. That taxes higher not paid and all sorts of things. Structures bureau. No, that was not a time for the time what we see today with Manu Kothari and others taking an independent view of anatomy. Most of the anatomy was taught by surgeons to some extent, and of course there was an anatomy department. First there was Kopikar. Kopikar was so jolly that he would make every teaching a sort of sport. Kurulkar to that extent was a very grim man, but he was very good in law, means legally, constitution, kya karne ka, how to do. He is the one who wrote this Gossamer Society's constitution. So each of them had their own merit. In physiology, Batliwala I still remember, Montero I still remember. They were very good people. My point is, to us they treated like children. There was no air of I am senior or like that. Batliwala's son was later on my student. So I should tell him that look, I am paying partially debt to your father. And then what happened is that time, for the first time in 1956, Dr. P.K. Sen had returned back from America. And Rockefeller had given us money to start the full-time department. The day P.K. Sen took over, Dr. Baliga resigned. Asked why? I said, "Bal, me to like third of all we should talk in Marathi. Where I was the king, I don't want to be a slave." I could never understand that time, but now I understand what he meant. And he never fought Dr. Sen. He supported everything, but in his own way, he indicated that that was the way, that was the only way to grow the institution. However, Dr. P.K. Sen was an excellent teacher. He taught us general surgery. He later on migrated to thoracic. So I still remember various classes taken by Vasant Sheth, P.K. Sen, Munsif, Baliga. Dr. Baliga was such an excellent clinical teacher, but he hardly left back anything written. And none of his so-called stalwarts wrote anything about it. But his clinical classes were overfull. And one of the exams he keeps on telling is, think of common things, of uncommon manifestation of common things rather than common manifestation of uncommon. This went on and all, and he used to draw diagnosis 1, 2, 3, 4 and draw a line. So you said think about the line, then you could write below the line this, that, all that. So was also Arthur Disa. Now Arthur Disa has his own flair. Munsif was an excellent artist as a surgeon. So he was very delicate, this, that, and he would wear a Gandhi cap, sit down and operate. It's the first time I saw a surgeon sitting down and operate. So I was very lucky to have, I think, teachers who were selfless. I mean, they had nothing to do with themselves. I remember 1942 movement, Dholake and others used to lie down at a parade, this, to block the police vehicles, etc. This used to happen. Then one more person that I still remember was V.P. Mehta. His memory was so good that he would rattle off Gray's Anatomy, Cunningham, whatever this. Any class you tell him, he will take a class. Later on, unfortunately, he became mad. But my point is, his brain was so good in memorizing so many things. Of course, that time memory was given more important than now, problem solving and all that. That is okay. But it was there. So also Sanskrit. Sanskrit was most of the time, you have to recite and re-recite like that. To me, when I look back, I still feel I was a very lucky person to have very pleasant hospital memories and college memories. The first RMO strike took place in 1962 when I had returned back. And Pimputkar, who was the commissioner, had come to the dean's office in the hospital, not the college. And that time when we were talking, he used to say, I said, look, Mr. Pimputkar, we used to call him sir that time. The doctors have a point. Means not having a fan, not getting water, not having this, are important complaints. The unfortunate part is, even after 5 strikes, the same complaints continued in Gage Hospital. There were not so many complaints in KEM or other, but same, no fans, nothing, bad food, bad laundry or something. So every strike, I remember 4 or 5 strikes, originated always in Gage Hospital. And the complaints were genuine. But the strike was always withdrawn without the solution of the complaint. So whenever this thing comes, during my time when I was a surgery professor, etc., we had 2-3 strikes. And we always said we should enter emergency. So one time Kirtane, who is he said, Dr. Balarao, can you tell me how do I know what is the emergency or not if I don't examine patient? He had a point. Unless you examine a patient, you really don't know. He has got a hernia. Is it strangulated? You have to see. So the gap between doing social medicine, like social work, and really your personal medicine is very narrow for a doctor. Though the other people may say many things. That time obviously there wasn't competition colleges. So all entry was through some sort of a competition. And everybody who came wanted, I think I still feel that was a very big important thing that I see now between knowledge and money, and knowledge for knowledge's sake. And later on, as we progress, one of the things still sticks in mind is when I was that was head of the department. Ajita Mehta, I don't know whether you were or not, was moving around to get a place for anaerobic lab. It so happens he landed in my room. So I thought about it. It was an important point because that time anaerobic cultures had just come into existence. We did not know much about anaerobic culture. We knew enough about aerobic cultures. So I thought about it. Since I was the head, I gave her a room, one room on the 3rd floor, opposite the office. And from there, she became a very eminent microbiologist. We established Hospital Infection Society. Unfortunately, she also had a bad health problem, but we salvaged her in 1985. She was on respirator for 7-8 days. And later on, she really lived a very useful life for society. So I often feel you really don't know who will do good. You have to keep on doing good for whatever comes to your way. And some of them will become good. I'll give one more example. There was a nurse who was strangulated in KEM, who was working in dog lab. Aruna Shambag. Now, Aruna Shambag was working with me on that dog lab that time. And she just at 4 o'clock, she said, Dr. Vijate, she was the Saraswat. I said, ठीक है. Now, don't know what prompted her. She went to the ground floor or underground place in CVTC for changing the clothes. And as her luck have it, that fellow who strangled was there. And the rest is story, history. But one more thing I still remember, there was one more nurse who was working for Dam Lab. I can't remember his name. After finishing a liver or some surgery, he was so thirsty, he opened the fridge and took out a bottle of Nembutal and drank. I said, hey, what are you doing? And by the time he finished, was unconscious. We salvaged him, we sat with him. Later on, he went to abroad, got a good thing. He married, unfortunately his further life was a little tragedy, but he also, to me, it appeared that what would have happened suppose I was not there and he was early and there was nobody. So to some extent you also start believing that things happen without your knowledge why they happen. So to me, experimental laboratory, dark laboratory is a very important part of my growth. Later on, when I became a senior, we established a model of duodenal small bowel perforation. During our time, we used to have a large number of small bowel perforations. Almost all were labeled as enteric, but they were quite often arthritis, means necrosis. This. Now, we could not understand why some patient who came within 12-13 hours lived, but all who came after 21 hours died. So we created a model. And we started opening after 3 hours, 6 hours, 9 hours. And suddenly we realized that in 24 hours, bacterial peritonitis overwhelmed them. So if you close somebody early, it doesn't matter what antibiotic you deliver. Now this was certain lessons I learned, hard way but important. And that time, that fellow now practices that. He was my research student and he did this model actually. But we all learned a lot from experimental laboratory. We used to go there, create a portable shunt, we go there, anastomose, bottom. That was a live anatomy that we could do. Unfortunately, later on, for various reasons, all these methods of learning are now being closed. Two other things stick in my mind. I used to take classes for all my juniors. The first batch was my wife, later on, by the way. And she used to bring 3-4 of her friends and we used to start in pathology museum. Pathology, like anatomy, was very near to me. And I used to take classes with those specimens and like this, bladder, stone. And somehow or other, the word spread and more students started coming. I couldn't understand. Later on, I realized by repeating, I was becoming a better teacher. Not that I had more knowledge of others and like that, but this was an opportunity which made me a better teacher. Because when you try to teach the lowest denominator, you really know how to teach. Not the smart fellows, the number 1 and 2, but the bottom ones. Because then you know their difficulty, why they are not coming up. Now that started a train, and later on even Ajit Phadke and others followed. Then after passing first MBBS, I used to take pathology classes. Then after passing MBBS, I used to take surgical classes. Till I went abroad, my mother had a terrible desire that I should go for a first. I was not very keen, but she said, no, you must go. And I left for England in 1961. I got a Commonwealth scholarship. And there, for the first time, I realized the value of a good teacher. Because at Royal College of Surgeons, where I was attending their classes, for the first time, I realized the importance of functional anatomy. R.J. Last was one of our teachers. And he used to explain, this thing goes from here to there to there. Why? Means this why came for the first time. Our anatomy teachers were good, but their end was attachment, in origin, insertion. For example, roughly we used to say, why not attachment comes to insertion, then insertion is attachment. All these questions were there, but we were turned down. Last, in his book I let go after, but there, as a teacher, he used to take brachial plexus, this, that. And say, why the muscles go there? Because it has to supply some muscle. The nerve doesn't go for itself. So this is the beginning of functional anatomy and functional physiology. We had a very good 2-3 teachers in neurology, pharmacology. This was for me a second revision of MBBS course. I also remember my Dr. Balik, we had a craze presentation on a midline swelling in the perineum. Everybody get various diagnosis, this, that. I said, no, this is only stone. And fellow looked at me and said, are you sure? Yes. After 3 days, he came to congratulate me. When they operate, they got a stone. He said, who told you? I said, my teacher had to tell me. tell the common manifestation, uncommon is a common thing rather than common manifestation uncommon. I said perennial stone in a diverted color. This is a common thing, at least in our place. And see, all this, when I look back, I realize how things have helped me. I have not attempted that they should help me, but they have helped me. And that one little sentence has stuck in my mind a long time. That time Bhandar was my colleague, and we used to keep on discussing surgical philosophy and all that. So he used to tell that one surgical philosopher, I forget after the name, said that ultimately all deaths are muscle deaths. How? Cardiac muscle. If an animal cannot run or cannot fight or cannot have his food, starvation, is all related to muscle activity. If you see, in long run, when you go to see a tiger in a cage, he is not quiet, he is taking turns. Why? He doesn't have to move at all for his food or like that. But this is a biological principle. Activity, muscle activity, has a lot to do with our wellness, etc. And I also tell my patient, first 24 hours you get all old fellows out of the bed, make them walk, they should shout. I said, no, hold the catheter, just hold the bag, walk. And that time, of course, they used to call him a dictator, all that, it's okay. Physiotherapy for lung, physiotherapy department had just started, but we used to ourselves do endotracheal intubation, put a catheter, suck out the secretion. So all these things, to me, I was tending to become a little innovative. Instead of getting bogged down by lack of funds and leave that, I was trying to become innovative. The other innovative point, we used to do splenogram with a needle. But what used to happen when the patient breathes, the possibility of rupture was good. So what I did is, between the sharp end, 18 gauge needle, and a bottom, I fixed a PVC tube, made it small by heating, put it on the needle, tie it with the thread. Now this gave liberty to the patient to breathe. And we have done not less than 700 splenogram with no tear. This also will be quoted by Dr. Nehru sir in this. All subsequent radiologists started following this principle. Later on it was replaced by attachment, ready-made attachment. For us, things getting from abroad was very tough till 64, 65. Though we used to read about them. The second innovative I feel is Sengstaken tube. Now, use of Sengstaken tube was started that time. We didn't have that classical Sengstaken because the cost of that time was 2,000 rupees. None of us could afford to tell the patient, "Is jao leke aao." So what I thought is, I said, why not try something else? So that time where PK said to me, why don't you try a condom? Now that was that time a stupid idea. कि condom बांध के क्या करेगा? But a double layer condom tied to a ordinary 20 French tube saved many lives during that time. We also know limitations, but my point is, this sort of innovation only comes when there are situations which are not very good, absurdities, or shall we say, they challenge your thinking. We had also prepared so many molds and all that. After passing MBBS, I spent 1 year in orthopedic. And who are my teachers? The ward boys. The consultant rarely had much time to even teach us. So my registrar used to tell me how to put a plaster. They used to show me how to put a plaster, how to make it nice, how to test. So most of my immobilization this. And it's the first time they taught that you don't reduce the fracture, but you hold a reduced fracture in that plaster bench. So one more very bad experience I learned later on. We used to all do portable X-ray. हड्डी टूट के आया, X-ray लगेगा. And most of us used to ask, "अरे हिरानंद और हिरिस, कब तुम पर ये that fellow's name again goes on my." He is South North Indian. जब पे X-ray निकालो, there were 2-3 very senior ward boys who used to give everything ready. साफ देखो. Unfortunately, we never realized how dangerous the X-rays are. And I have lost not then 10 people
to my knowledge.
who have died of cancer, leukemia. K.K. Da's fingers, damaged. Then my teacher in London, Alan Hunt, he used to have a lead shield over his testes and say, now portable karega. He died of leukemia. That means we never know what the danger, where it is. So first thing I did after coming from London is I stopped all portables. I said no. Patient will go to the department, everybody will wear lead shield or whatever it is, and only minimal is to be done. Let us treat X-rays as a common enemy. This is the same thing Manu Kota used to say, that what cures can also cause. So that is how, but it did bring an awareness among many of my students that you have to take X-rays very carefully. One more person was Ramesh Sangari's father. He was a pediatrician. He also taught me. He had a very nice X-ray chest. So you should take rapidly, fatafat, whatever you have. He also died of cancer. I mean, all these people never knew what they are doing. In today's thing, when you come to towers and all that, I often tell them, look, we really don't know. It may not cause, but it can cause. And maybe after 10, 20 years we realize it has happened. Mad cow disease, who knew that it will happen? It happened. So there are many things still unknown. So we have to be polite, be a little patient. I still feel progressing too rapidly has not much advantage. But the English idiom, there is always next but coming, is important. And this is what Dr. Munsif used to keep on telling, never be the first and never be the last to do any procedure. There was some wisdom in what he is trying to say. And when you look back, you realize that you have accumulated all these sayings, so that it did guide my growth. Since I was not very rich, I could not enter practice after MS. I think I was the first or second lecturer, and the tutor that time in Department of Surgery. That time, the first time the battle has started between full-time and part-time. My two seniors were G.P. Parulkar and T.P. Kulkarni. I still remember my interview in this municipality. Our salary that time was only 400 rupees. When you look back, what is 400? But it was there that time. And to me, that was a survival. Because I had to look after my two sisters, my mother, and this. So, that also got me my scholarship to go abroad. So when I came back, 64, we had, I think, the first general surgery major conference in KM. And they had given me this Department of Volunteers. And it was very nice to see because I knew quite a few of them. So we used to go over a drill, this, that, what to do, this, that. And when the conference ended, they gave a rising
Standing ovation.
Tribute to the volunteers. Unfortunately, I was not there, but when they told me, I was so happy that I could transfer a social responsibility to the younger people. Quite a few of those students used to travel with them to show Bombay. They used to go to their hotel, interpret Hindi or Marathi for them. And that is the first time anesthesia separated from surgery. Till that time, surgery and anesthesia was a common conference. Dr. Dhruv was the anesthesia chief. And we all said Tata to them. After that, they held their own separate conference. We had a separate class. Before my memory is the growth of all specialities. When we were students, we had only 2 or 3 ophthalmology, ENT, skin, venereology, skin, general surgery, general medicine. Pediatrics came during my memory. Pilu Barucha was the head. Cardiology also came later, Vakil, who actually found out about digoxin. He was a cardiologist but general physician first. So I have seen a group of 10-9 people, physicians plus surgeons, who were essentially generalists. It is only after 1980 that we became residual surgeons. What others will not do, we will do. Bad bunch, put to general surgery. Bad injury, put to general surgery. And the cream of the specialty went to the specialty. This happened, and this happened everywhere. But when I look back, I still feel for a country like ours, which is still developing country, having a well-trained generalist is the need of the country. You may have endoscopy, this, that, all, but not many can afford. Even in Bombay you can't afford. So I always had a fight with some of my Ajit Phadke used to always fight. He used to say no, specialty yes, specialty is the growth, but it can only go on a stable, good general surgery teaching. And we used to spend one month in ophthalmology, ENT, 6 months skin. And what Sharad Desai taught us that time in mineralogy and skin still remains very valid to me. Papule, macule, this, that, skin lesions. Leprosy was that time a very hot topic. But everybody used to warn us, take care, don't touch and like that. DDS came that time for leprosy. Most of the antibiotics came apart from penicillin. Streptomycin came in 1960. Then came aureomycin and various things. We were so happy that now there is a good umbrella. And lo and sure, within 3 years, it turned to be leaky umbrella. Because nobody had known resistance, what we do. Till today, when we talk of infection disease control, we are lucky that we do not get infected by resistant organism. And that is where minimal hospitalization has come. Otherwise, everybody is happy in hospital, khana milta hai, ye milta hai, wo milta hai. But you will acquire a resistant bug for which you will have no answer. So, again, by accident or microbiology put us back into our proper place. Same thing happened with blood transfusion. There was one Vyas, he was not a doctor, who was a technician or laboratory in charge of our blood bank. Our blood bank is where today is still there that time. No. He was a good friend of mine, and that time blood was purchased. The voluntary donation had just started, but if you don't get blood, you buy. 35 रुपया में एक बाटली मिलती थी वो टाइम. And poor fellows who come and donate once a month, twice a month, it was there, but they said, देखो भाई, हम नहीं देगा तो मर जाएगा, खाना नहीं है. Same thing happened to asthmatics. They used to all sleep in the casualty, and if they get an attack, they used to come to casualty. छोटा का बड़ा, छोटा means adding, बड़ा means समान of value. And when you see that picture, it puts you into a type of medicine that this country still needs. Then similarly in plastic surgery came with Dr. Pinto in about 63-64. Cardiovascular came in 56-59 with Dr. P.K. Sen. Cardiology came with Dr. K.K. Date. So one individual who still sticks in my mind is J.C. Patel and N.D. Patel. J.C. Patel started 5 things in KM hospital. One thing was blood bank, improving things. Second was tetanus. And the third was, I think, some absurd disease, clotting disorders. He was a real thinker. And his student, B.C. Mehta and etc., ultimately they got involved in this. And his contribution to KM is very large. Who realized the value of supporting service. That you really can't be a good physician surgeon unless you have got a good lab, good pathology, good blood bank, good immunology, nothing. Radiology. So, today when people talk, I often tell them, do you remember on whose shoulders you are standing? Because for a surgeon, repetitive surgery is no go, no further growth. He has to learn to on whom he is standing. This was the credit to P.K. Sen. Anytime a department call, he will go, so okay, I will take over. Means he had an independent radiology on 3rd floor, where we used to do angiography and various things. Sheila engineer, later on we said this one. She was his first head of the department. Then Madhav Kelkar, who also died of cancer. Who was there? Now, all these things, with it we mainly Nerulkar, that we started much more aggressively in preventing injury from X-rays. So to me, preventing self-injury against X-rays was as important that time as HIV prevention today. Today you look at HIV. Originally nobody bothered. That one only got tagged up only to bad irregular sex. Then it got to everybody. So the span that a virus or bacteria will take is not known. It is unknown still today. The same thing happened with plague epidemic in Gujarat. That was in our Hindu hospital. The news came that so many people have died in Surat and all that. And as usual with government of India, there was always ye hai, wo hai, wo hai, wo hai. Ultimately it turned out to be plague. It was plague. Only thing is because of antibiotics and early care, not so many died. Not so many got beavers. And because there was symptomatology and other things, many were salvaged. But it was plague. The plague which we all thought has gone off came back. Same thing happened with tetanus. Same thing happened with polio. Every time you think you have gone it up, after a few years you get a sample. No, one more polio case. So also happened to smallpox. Means these happened before my eyes. So I am always scared of 2-3 things. One is the bugs. Because I know they are smarter than us. Secondly is cortisol. Because I know it can kill without your knowledge. And third thing I am always scared that way is because of bad diet. Now because I was a gastroenterologist that way, not a trained gastroenterologist, and in London they used to teach us surgical physiology, physiology of gastric secretion. I never thought it was so interesting till I listened to that talk. And when I came back, I insisted on 4 or 5 lectures on surgical physiology in the graduate. You put a rice tube, why put a rice tube? What do you aspirate? Gastric juice. What is pH? What is pH of gastric juice? It is the quantum that causes ulcer, not the change in acidity. So many of those things came back from what I learned there. That look at the problem this way. Then many other things taught there. That stone is not carcinogenic. Here we used to teach students, gallstone होगा तो cancer हो जाएगा, bladder stone होगा तो ये हो जाएगा, foreign body होगा तो ये हो जाएगा. There, that fellow Cunningham, he was a professor. He showed us so many examples that the cancer never declared. That time calm cancer was very common in Kashmir. You know, they used to tie that hot pot for it. And the calm cancer used to happen where there was holes in the pot and the skin would get charred or burned. So that time soot as a common carcinogen was brought to a prominence. So there are so many examples of the chimney sweepers, this, that. And that was the first time we got more acquainted with environmental cancer. Then came the tobacco. And when you look back, the evolution of all this understanding has come accidentally. And so also there was one single man in America who declared tobacco was the drug. And that's why tobacco was banned. He had a lot of opposition, but he said no, tobacco is drug. And if you look back, yes, it is. Tobacco can cause problems. So also obesity can cause problems. So proper nutrition was another my favorite topic. They used to say how much protein you should take because most of the people were vegetarians. They were not even egg eaters, so they were all milk. So how to give them high protein diet? So that time various protein eggs and other powder. So we used to measure how much to give half a gram per kilo. Let us try to use half a gram, then more. Since most of the patients are cirrhotic, I had to be extra sensitive to salt, diuretics and high protein diet. So that has also, so every time I see obese person, that's vajan come from. So they start running away from me now. A classical example that when you go to a marriage party, that Junior Thurupure, he was a cardiologist, and he was a hefty fellow, and my wife used to disappear. And wherever they used to go at a cardiologist, keep on drinking. They say, we don't come near us. We don't want you to tell us, don't eat. So it's a very funny thing, but it does matter. I think I was not a very big sportsman, but I used to play cricket in Wilson High School, Wilson College, and in GS Medical College. I am a known asthmatic from 1940. Till today I am alive, but that is because I have kept myself reasonably well acquainted with drug. For example, most of us who have been brought up in ephedrine, aminophylline luminol up to 1975. 1975, the first time that Beclet or Beconite came abroad for inhalation. That has revolutionized treatment of asthma. And I have kept myself upgraded that way. And I always feel chronic disease need not kill you if you know how to tackle it. Whether it is diabetes or whether it is asthma, even cancer with it. So to me, being a doctor is not only a doctor. To me, doctor also means a different kind of surgical philosophy. And to give back to the society, I also became chief secretary of this Mumbai Marathi Sahitya Sangha. Where we do dramas and all that. I am the chief secretary last 23 years. We were very poor and we didn't have much money. But we got a gold medal for Marathi drama with Durga Kote and others. We did many revival of musicals in Marathi. All because of wellness, well-being by people. Durga Kote, Vanmala and all those artists acted virtually with no money on Marathi stage. Not many will know this. To me now that seems as a sacrifice. If you see today, what you see on TV or other thing, how much running is after money. Then you realize the value of these people who contributed their talent or for upkeep of a tradition. And then you really look up to them that this is something you must happen. Now, why did I leave KEM? In 1984, Porulkar was appointed Dean. 83. He was appointed without advertisement. Yeah? 84. 83, yeah. 84. 83, 84. So I protested. So that time Suptankar was the commissioner. So he called me one day and PK Sen wrote me a letter from USA. Hey, Dr. Bala, don't get depressed, don't do this, your future is bright. I don't know what doctor. But I was pretty badly depressed for 2-3 months. Because that was one opportunity I could have become Dean of KEM. But that time, deans were not transferable. If you are appointed at one place, you continue at one place. Joglekar was the first instance where the transfer took place. So, because I thought if you become dean, you can do more things. Then I remember C.K. Deshpande, he became dean later. He said, "Bal, मी तुला काय सांगू? मी lecturer होतो pathology मध्ये. I thought I will do better by becoming professor. When I became professor, I thought I will do better by being dean. After dean, I thought, he said, no, nothing changes. The system is so stuck that your rise in a particular field makes no difference. But this is okay. I mean, this is how you look at it. When I look back now, Satoskar left KEM to become head of the department at science. That Rajiv Satoskar, no, yeah. I asked him, no, I want to be here. I remember my own back. So I said, good, do it whatever you like, be happy. And when in 84, 85, I thought there was virtually no place for me in KEM to grow. That time I opted for a corporate thing, and Dr. R.K. Menda had called me. My interview was taken by Hinduja family across. My first salary was only 6,000 rupees, 85,000. But K.D. Sharma, who was the dean of JJ, was the main dean at Hinduja. The main building that is stock commissioned now was uncommissioned from 1980 to 84, 85. I said, why? नहीं, कोई risk नहीं लेता है. Risk क्या है? कोई मर जाएगा ये. So in 85 I joined in, I think I joined in November. 86 Independence Day I commissioned that hospital. Everybody laughed at me. Even his family was afraid. I said, don't worry, I am taking responsibility. And when we commissioned only 2 floors, 11th floor was general patient and radiology first floor and theatre. How would the thing change? Dr. Bhutani, who was my student of anesthesia at KEM, became the first anesthetist who shared a risk with me. He said, chale karega. Because we had that guts from KEM You can do it if you want to. Running a hospital 300 bed is no difficulty at all when you have seen thousands and other people. So they were alarmed. What is there? Kitna patient hai? So patient hai. So is nothing. So when you work in a bigger place, you don't get scared by numbers. This is equally important. One more thing I forgot to tell you in between. When I was in KM, there was one rebellion by police, armed rebellion. They had captured that Parel thing, and Baba Saheb Bhosle was the chief minister. And they had taken away rifles, this, that, and there was a lot of firing, etc. going on, Parel and all that. I wasn't aware. When I approached Lal Bagh, one inspector stepped away. He said, "You are a doctor?" I said, "Yes, I am." He said, "Look, don't go straight. Take a right turn, go from the back." I said, "Why?" No, there is some trouble." And that saved my life. Because Pinu Bharucha and all others had their cars smashed while they were about to enter KM hospital. It is just luck. I never know what told him because I don't know his name also. That time probably there was that swastik on my car, so maybe he thought. But that is how you are helped by unknown people and thing changes. Same thing happened with Shiva Sena firing. That time I was head of the department and we were busy in removing bullet. My son had gone to a picture. Nobody knew where he has gone. And from 2:30 p.m. till 9 p.m. nobody knew. Everybody was scared. How to tell me? Because I was still operating in the theatre, in JMT. At 10:30, 11, Mr. Satoskar came very quietly. "Dr. Bhargava, do you know?" I said, "What?" "Your son is now found. He has returned back home." He was untraceable. I never knew, but suppose I would have known that at that time, what would happen to my surgical skill? I don't know. So, I don't know what is, these are developments that should happen in your luck or whatever it is. But all that has taught me to be much more polite and much more down to earth. Even though you may think yourself brilliant, this, that, when you get that this medal, what is it?
Padma Bhushan.
हाँ?
Padma Bhushan.
नहीं, ये अपना सर्जरी का मिला था वो, ठीक है नहीं? हाँ?
BC Roy.
That time he used to talk to us. He called, "Do you know, doctor, why I called you?" I said, "No." I said, "I am looking after your health. Who will look after you if nobody looks after you?" A very nice, but very way he delivered the message that a doctor also has to look after himself, look after his family. You can't get carried away by this. And one more thing I would like to concentrate is during our time there was only hygiene at the department. There was no preventive social medicine. Dr. D.N. Pai was the first person who had passed MSc in America, who came back in 67 or 68, who started preventive medicine department. It was a one-man department. Later on my wife joined and became the doctor. And my wife was not a brilliant student, but she was a smart student. So she had passed MBBS just the time we got married. One of my sticking point is always women must work, women must earn, women must not become dependent. This was my thing. My both sisters worked till end. My mother was illiterate. She was hardly this. But she learned to write Isho. Khata hone mein lagta hai. So to me, the things she had gone through because of no education and no social support had stuck to me a long time. And every time somebody asks her, "No, marry whatever it is, but don't stop earning." To me, a female earning whatever it is, 1%, 10%, whatever it is brings us a status in the family. But if you are only housewife, however you might sacrifice, nobody appreciates you. So that when my wife, I said, again wishes of everybody in my family, I insisted that she became MD in preventive social medicine. She already had 2 kids, but she became. And later on she rose up and did quite well. I have been very lucky on that. She used to carry on happily with whatever we were earning. My children never demanded too many things. So when I see now my grandson are demanding, they can't travel from here to Wellington without money. I said, what rubbish you are talking. I have been traveling by train till I became professor. I was traveling by train from Charney Road to Elphinstone Road, walk and carry on. I have never felt this. To some extent, I think adversity has been good for me. If I had not been in that adverse circumstances, possibly I would not have had a chance to grow what I have grown. I think you realize this in the later years of your life, not so early. And 3 more things I was always scared of: Lakshmi, Saraswati and Menaka. And in a doctor's life, all the 3 come to you at any time. And you have to be very careful. You can't be rude. So that I used to make it a rule that a nurse will always stand whenever I am examining a female, whatever it is. And when I became head at Hinduja, I saw to it that there was no inner bolt, so no doctor can lock up a woman. This was my contribution to a female susceptibility, or a bad thing for a doctor today. So many doctors thank me. Dr. Nishita Agarwal was never going to become a conductor. I forced his husband. Dr. Agarwal would give a talk. He is from UP. So thoda sa wo senile aisa hai. So I said, no, your wife is going to work. And I have made her consultant in ophthalmology. There are many ladies who I insisted, no, you have got good brains. Why do you want to stay at home? I said, don't neglect home. Don't overdo it. And ultimately, who stays with you is only Saraswati. Neither Lakshmi nor Menaka will stay with you. So here is the equilibrium of a Hindu philosophy. You have to all the time keep on remembering. I think this is enough, I think.
Yes, sir, you have to tell us about your Hinduja. You had just started.
नहीं बट हिंदुजा का क्या है, ये इसमें क्या कुछ चाहिए हिंदुजा?
नहीं, just general.
I had already told you how I entered Hinduja. Then, as it happened there also, the first CEO was an American, the Indian American. He was a very nice chap. We used to talk very often. We contradict each other also. But no man. Lalita Hinduja was another female who had influenced my thinking. She also was an illiterate lady. She lost her husband early. They migrated from Sindh to Bombay. What you see, the present multi-student hospital had only a place for dispensary. That day Vasantra Naik, who was the chief minister, gave this place to the Sindhi refugees. And the founder of this PD Hinduja, PD Hinduja himself, was a philanthropist. He used to give simple medicine to his Sindhi clients or whatever displaced person. The charity thing has entered among Hindu family right from that time. All these big Hindus today you see were all students or very small people. They were all brought up by this Lalita Hinduja because that PD Hinduja lost his wife very early. So while talking, this Lalita Hinduja was also cousin sister to Dr. R.K. Menda. And once while talking, this PD Hinduja told, what do you think I should do with this lady? She is a widow. She is in the family still. They don't send her to the hospital. That time the old Hinduja hospital, 67, 68, was still there. So she used to come, she used to supervise nursing, supervise cooking, go around the place, talk to every patient. Kaise ho, kya karte ho? Just courtesy. Today we call this our customer care. But this was there even that time. And every employee and every nurse that time still gratefully remember her. First nurse selection, she took me with her. I said, why madam? नहीं नहीं, हमको ये मेडिसिन का जानता नहीं है. तुम क्वेश्चन करो, हम मार्क देंगे. So with K.D. Sharma, myself, and this used to sit and select nurses. And later on, the residents also came in. And after commissioning in 85 till 93, we were always in trouble. And after 93, General Banga, who was the CEO, we suddenly took off. None of us know why, but we took off. We had a group of young people recruited, Agarwal, Mudwadia, Modi, Bawdekar. That was my initiative. That I said, look, only full-timers will not get practice. You have to have a supporting service of people who are in society. So we recruited 7-8 people, Kirtane and all that. And they really put their heart in this as if it is KM. So to us, Hinduja Hospital is KM Hospital. But you have to spend money. But money is not the ultimate. There are many people who don't pay any bill. And the charity is true charity. Not a single paisa is taken away by the family for their good or whatever it is. All the profit is pulled back into the growth of the hospital. So that is how we got CT scan, various things, MRI, nuclear medicine, so many things. Came back, original investment of the family is only 60 crores. Not much. Today, the hospital is about 500, 600, 700 crores. But this is the wisdom of investor. So when I was at one day we were taking tea at SP Hinduja, this early. So he was just chit-chatting. So he said, you know Balra, one thing what hurts me. I said, what? You see, we came little late. Before we came, the Parsi and the Christian took away the most important land in Bombay, which was true. The Sindhis were the last migrants. If you look at the whole map, the first came were the Christians, obviously. Schools and this, that, charity from Scotland, so many. I was myself brought up in Wilson, with a Presbyterian school and college. Parsis were the next benefactors. Jamshedji Nehru, etc. They had done so much for the city. By the time this growth came with, the Punjabis also had captured motor market, all of things. And the Sindhis were the last one. And for them, corporate hospital was the one way to go. And these people already had old Hinduja hospital. So when their father died, this PD Hinduja, they took a vow that we will start a multidisciplinary memorial hospital in his name. And their ideas and my ideas were similar. That charity always, but if the patient can afford, surely he must give his cost of whatever money society is spending. And from that philosophy, we also had our bad days, good days and all that. But one thing I never rebelled against Hindujas. I never competed with any of my colleagues who was earning more or less. I was a self-contained individual. हॉस्पिटल में जाने का, सब पेशेंट को देखने का, कोई कंप्लेंट होगा तो सुनने का, select good nurses, teach nurses. So I never left my teaching. I used to take classes for our juniors till almost 5-10 years back. Those who came for doing post. Then we got DNB. So to me, I still remain basically a teacher at heart and a generalist at heart. I am not served so much by super specialty. It is good. It is good. But sometimes it turns like a cancer growth. Not beneficial, but kills the original tree. So I think this is a challenge now we are facing. Secondly, the bacteria and others have almost lost their war to the viruses. And hardly we have got anything to do. The other day when Camilla Robbins, microbiologist, Ajita Mehta student, we were discussing, she said, do you know Dr. Balra, for last 12 years, not a single antibiotic has come in market. Which is true. The last major antibiotic that has come is Levoflox or something. Nothing has come after that. Now people will try. But the point remains is the bacteria have outgrown our chemotherapy. Again there is a resistant tubercle, re-entry, resistant repressive, re-entry. So that actually when you are a medical man, apart from cleanliness, antiseptic, good food, good exercise, you also have to remember that you are not the master and you respect the microbes. So even when my grandson said, no, wash your hands. Please do it properly. That is the time when Ajita Mehta told us there was the epidemic of HIV. And there was always discussion whether we throw off HIV positive employees. We said no. Why? They know they will tell us. So what we said, let us start, instead of shaking hands, let us start doing Indian way. Kaise ho? Now this was not by my thought, but Ajita Mehta brought it to us. Let's not shake hands. Let's not transfer even organism, whatever it is. Let's go to our Indian way of saying, kaise ho, aram hai na, which has its own value. Without telling, transferring contaminants, you suddenly learn that this discipline was there in theatre. We used to wash hands, put on gloves, not touch, was there. But none of us thought of this simple thing, what he said. And that's why I still feel I have learned a lot from my juniors. Very few has come from my brain, but I have been sufficiently alert to notice that this is something good. Same thing happened with Manu Kothari. Manu Kothari and myself, we have been always fighting. Not because he was bad or anything, but because by traditional anatomic training that I got, we always thought bones as important to remember anatomy. I am not saying bone came first, so that is a different story. But because of K.D. Desai, R.J. Lass and all that, they always took for the roadmap a bone. Because it was constant, though it might have come later. So all of us, osteology was very important to learn. And so I used to tell Manu Kothari, Manu, tum kya karte ho? ठीक है. But I read his book halfway through. I think if you remove a lot of garbage of philosophy, it's a good book. But I think I could bring it down to only 50 pages important. But he was a crack right from beginning. He was 2 years junior or to me. Right from beginning, he used to take little tangentially, not straight away. But he had a source of genius in original thinking. Maybe he was not able to sell it so efficiently as other people did, but he had. And that's why when I got this book, I always feel that his students and others should try to make it simple. You see, in any discovery, apart from discovery, marketing and making society accept is equally important. As we say in our Marathi, prachar and prasar. You can't really become big. And who made Jnaneshwar big? Not Jnaneshwar himself, Lata Mangeshkar. When he started singing his song, which entered every middle class or houses, he became popular. Tukaram, who made him big? Not necessarily Tukaram himself, he was big. But nobody knows. Who did again Lata Mangeshkar and others who took an interest in transferring all that for knowledge of simple man. This made him bigger. Now Warkari Pant, who made it big? Common man. So when you go back, you often see at a fag end of your life that you really have done very little. But if you are smart enough, you should know whom to follow. But this also is a tragedy there. The guru becomes a shishya at the end of it. You say shishya nichet parajay. Means the guru also realizes that his knowledge is limited, that he has to learn from the shishya. But this basic philosophy that you have to learn from the young is very great thing in India. If you lose it, God help us. I think this is adequate.
So please tell us about any challenging case
Hey,
which you
Neelam?
remember.
Can I challenging case?
Any challenging case which has fitted into your
Yes,
memory?
there was a
There will be
laboratory.
many, Ash.
There
I'm
was
sure.
a laboratory worker. Nadena Chahane, she developed cellulitis of the right. I was registrar. I treated her in 8th floor side room. Everybody used to come and tell me, cut dalo. I said, no, I would like to salvage. So I keep peacefully, piecemeal, drain the salines, this blister, give her good food, make her exercise. And ultimately, we had skin grafting and she went on with intact hand. To me, though this was a big thing, has stuck in my mind. And then, my conservative approach to diabetes and various has come from there. That you really don't know which limb is useless. As far as possible, conserve. That is one thing. Secondly, I remember Vasantrao Naik nephew. He had idiopathic cirrhosis and he was brought to Bombay. He had hematomesis, all that. They came from Akola. And I was at KEM that time still. So one day they called me. They were there. I wasn't worried about the Vedantara model. I said, yes, he needs a shunt. Are you sure? I said, yes. There is no other, at that time, no alternative. That time sclerotherapy had not come to that extent, what you are talking today, 1964, 65. So they said, you'll come to St. I said, no, I'll operate only in KEM. Because I have got a team, I have got a faith in my hospital. So he was operated in KEM in 23 war. We did an intrasite photokevasha. The important thing is he is today still alive 35 years. Not because of me, because that time he did not knew that there is something like non-cirrhotic photokevasha. His liver was good. That knowledge came now. That time every granular thing was considered cirrhosis. So when I see I have got not less than 20-25 patients who are alive with a shunt, more than 20 years, 25 years, 30 years. But there are many tragedies also, that some have died of encephalopathy. And portal shunt is not a natural operation. Though the bodies are the same. If you get a natural shunt done, the bodies are the same thing. Transfer blood from portal system to systemic system. But the further thing is, almost every innovation I tried has gone back into the shunts have gone back. With endoscopy, that lymphovenous shunt I used to do has gone into the background. So when you look back, there is hardly left what I did. Small bowel with antibiotic and better care, no more they require. But when we were students and residents, we used to bring out the ileum as an ostomy. And those lived. And those were a primary closure died. So that ostomy creation, myself and Vivadia. Later on, we realized that this was a 24-hour gimmick. So that we used to do this ileostomy if the patient comes not 24 hours, which was not uncommon in Bombay. Somebody used to come from outside. So these are various things which stick in my mind. Simple things have given me more reward.
You talked about lymphovenous shunt. What is it?
See, thoracic duct enters either internuclear or junction of supplementation. There was an article in, I think, not JMA, Surgery Gynec Obstetrics issue, where they had pointed out that the thoracic duct at the end has a valve. The function of that valve is to prevent reflux of venous blood into lymphatic, especially during coughing, struggling. When the venous pressure goes up, it was a different matter. In cirrhosis, when the body got dissected, everybody found dilated lymphatics coming up to thoracic duct, and then the thoracic duct down with a valve. That's the first time we started doing end-to-end lymphovenous anosmosis to bypass the valve, or we used to cut the valve out and kill. It worked in cirrhotics with ascites. The control was easier. But it never gave result beyond 8 to 9 months. So it was just a technical.
So you have started and we taken up the management of portal hypertension, for which KEM has become so well-known center, and then it has still recognized as a good center for portal hypertension management. So,
but it was not me. No, wait a minute. It was not me. Actually, Dr. G.M. Phadke, when he was a consultant, he had gone abroad and he has seen hepatic artery, splenic artery ligation.
That's something like triple ligation.
Yeah, but left gastric was triple. But base was hepatic artery and splenic artery ligation. That time the theory was that if you prevent pulsatile flow going to liver, the venous flow will improve. And he had first ward given to him by the dean that time, where he treated almost 67 cases of refractory ascites. I was only student that time. T.P. Kulkarni was the first houseman. So he used to do the triple ligation. But the difficulty was 50% died. 50% improved. Nobody knows why 50% improved and other died. But that was my first introduction to portal hypertension. And that time, we still had a problem because hepatitis C is now identified. Hepatitis A, B, C got separated later on. So even today, non-B, non-A, C hepatitis ends up with scarring. And after that was Vasant Sheth, Dr. Parike's son-in-law used to call him because he used to always come 1 hour late till his Dr. Parike 8 o'clock. He developed this esophagus, poloesophagus, coloplasty, for stricture esophagus. But he also was very interested in portal hypertension. So shunt surgery in India I first learned from him. Then as I went abroad, then Alan Hunt, Sheila Sherlock, Millens Walker was many. But to me it was an extension because I still remember at we were operating at St. Bartholomew's Hospital, and there was a splenogram put up on the element, what the way we smile. Dr. Valeram, tell me what this is. I looked at it. There the splenic vein was joining the renal vein through suprarenal vein. I said, it is natural chant. You are the only one who did it. But this we all had seen here. So what I feel is that actually attracted me to, because nobody was taking portal hypertension. And most of the cirrhotic liver disease is still a physician's domain. A surgeon has entered accidentally. So in all my talks to tell them that look, I am a guest artist. When you find a better solution to prevent cirrhosis, whether alcoholic or viral, this is not the end point. The surgeon only comes to prolong life or premature death because of marriage. So for us the other stalwart was Basu from Calcutta. So between Vasant Sheth, Parike, Basu and later on me, I got targeted to portal hypertension because nobody was doing it. And there were so many cirrhotic with intractable attachments in the hospital. So that was a challenge. That time the only diuretic we had was mercury. Mercury means organic mercury, which you give injection for diuresis. Later on, Diamox came, gases came much later. So, salt content control and this water control, actually I learned from Sheila Sherlock. At the first time, there was a student who said, why are you making mess of it? The main problem in cirrhotic is water control. That a body cannot get rid of adequate water which is irritating or water. Which are true. And today if you see controlled diuresis, it's the only thing you are doing.
Yeah, it is still true.
And if you tap, you give albumin, so the most of the fluid come back. Right? So there's hardly any change. Luckily, alcoholic cirrhosis is going down, though the country liquor cirrhosis has persisted. So we are now seeing much more cases of congenital or non-B, non-A viral hepatitis. They are still there. And for them there is no answer yet.
And the era of endoscopy started a bit later.
Endoscopy started in 64-65. In KM Hospital it was started by S.R. Naik, who later on went to Lucknow.
Sanjay Gandhi.
Huh?
Sanjay Gandhi.
Hospital. He and his wife was a pathologist. She was working with Dr. Kindre. One thing I forgot I would mention. One more lady who has impressed me a lot is Dr. Kindre. You know, a very persistent lady who will not give up her point of argument just because you are shouting or you are too many. It was a news to us. Usually we say, chup beto, chup nahi betenge. She worked in KM almost 20-25 years, I think. And so, these are the things that cross my mind. Where was that?
Endoscopy.
Endoscopy. S.R. Naik was the first who introduced endoscopy. Then Mathur picked it up. I forget his initial. S.K. Mathur, he picked up. By that time I had left KM. So for me I was only introducing endoscopy and variceal injections for the first time in KM. Dilip Trivedi, who took it up to Hercules Hospital. So many of my people have done it more. But I must admit, neither endoscopy nor laparoscopy surgery was my domain. It has come much later. And by that time I was getting advanced in age. I was resistant.
That time there was not much technology support or
No cost.
no, not for the endoscopy and laparoscopy, but for the shunt surgeries also. Or
We
there were not
never-
much diagnostics like
We don't,
CT
we
and
never
MRI.
did anything. My main investigation, apart from biochemistry, was
SPG.
splenogram, which I told you what we
Yeah.
did. It was the cheapest splenogram we could do in 10 rupees. For which in corporate hospital people would spend 500,000 rupees. I went to Wadia to demonstrate to them how to do it. I had gone to Central Maharashtra to demonstrate. I had gone to Hyderabad. They were all surprised. I said, look, there is no surprise. Very simple thing. You have got a rigid, a supple thing in between,
Yeah.
which prevents plaque tear. But for me, another adversity was prompted me to find a solution.
Did you have had any plans of development of department before you left KM?
Yes, of course we had.
So
As I
what
told
was
you,
it?
the last department that came up was a pediatric department. So, Lata Deshmukh became the first head. Most of the space have been given by general surgeons with love. We have destroyed ourselves, our domain, but permitted specialty. Then Supe came later on, you have surgical gastroenterology. It is a later development. Initially I always felt we should not have, because that was the only thing left with general surgeons. But it has happened. You can't help it. You cannot stop growth. You know, as you said, even if you hide a cock, the sun will hide. So there is no point in resisting, but that wisdom comes much later. One more episode stuck in my mind is the Nariyalwala episode. Nariyalwala was head of the Department of Medicine, who came here from, I think, Australia or New Zealand, one of the two things. He was a very nice Parsi boy, and he used to like, who is that Parsi fellow who plays organ, and a very well known. Well, he used to hold his annual shows in Shanmukani.
Rubin Mehta.
Rubin Mehta. Rubin Mehta. And this fellow was very fond of Rubin Mehta, but he knew. He was a bachelor, like many other Parsis, he was a bachelor. He used to live with his mother and like that. And he was a very simple chap that way. And being a Parsi, was too polite to say you are taking my thing. And as that was one of the bad point of Dr. Sen's domain has been that he thought this was a good opportunity to swallow even Department of Medicine, apart from surgery department. And to his bad luck of Nariyalwala, Dr. S.V. Dawalkar, who was dean that time, did not see through what the game is being played. We all knew. And in one way we also hated what was happening. Nariyalwala was well supported by Vidya Acharya and many of our other students. I think one of the students later on married him. And they migrated
Manda
to
Pavaskar.
Huh?
Manda Pavaskar.
No, Pavaskar. Her sister had operated. So, but this is also a point that I think KM has learned a lesson in Nariyalwala episode. After that came Nair as the head of medicine, KG Nair. We used to call him Jetting Nair because half the time he was in the air, and other half the time he was in the office. So I said, oh, but क्या नायर किधर है ग्राउंड पे कि हवा में हो? So that time air travel had just started. It wasn't that fast, and he had a lot of contacts in Delhi. And he is the one who made AMP to this enzyme for cardiac failure. AMP, DMP, you know that Krebs cycle. He is the one who studied on this in USA.
Any message you would like to give to younger generation?
Be polite, don't think too much of yourself, and be first-rate preventive medicine man for yourself and your family.
And we would also like to hear from sir about his interest in drama, Marathi drama.
Oh, there are plenty. I used to act in Marathi dramas in 93, 94, till almost 97, 47. Then when my father fell ill, there was little gap. In 53, I was the hero for that drama, Amaldar. That is Google's Inspector General Normally Inspect. That was the adaptation by one P.L. Deshpande in Marathi. We staged it there. Honavar, Ramesh Sansgiri, myself, Marathe, one Dr. Marathe, and my wife, Mrs. Bhargav. We were the main artists there. It was a hodgepodge, but it went so well, and we did so well, that my father then produced the same play for his institute here. So that was my first. Then later on, our exams used to be in second year, fourth year. So we used to act in first year, third year, and after final year we did. So I took part in 3-4 dramas. But I always encouraged dramatic talent in others. Ajit Phadke, many others who became interested in drama because of that. One thing I tell you about Marathi drama. For Maharashtra, there is no local culture. You will be surprised, but it is true. There is no Kathak, there is no Bharatnatyam, there is no Kathakali, there is no Kudiyattam, nothing. Then what is it there? Only Tamasha and Drama are the only two things which are what you can say truly Marathi oriented. And from there now, musical Marathi drama has still maintained its tradition. And we, myself and my father also helped this musical tradition to grow. Then as I already told you, for Bahubanki, we got a first gold medal, all India medal for the best drama in traditional series. That was Bahubanki, written by Kakasaheb Khadilkar. It is based on that Nana Peshwa murdered by Raghova, and that Ram Shastri gives him a sentence of Deyanta Prashita, means he killing him. We had really good epoch-making writers that time. And quite a few of these writers used to stay at our place in Giriraj. Olatkar from Nagpur, Markolkar from Nagpur, Kavi Anil and his wife. So many, because that time there were not many hotels. And to be comfortable, it is better if you stay with a family. So we had a fairly big house. They used to come. The advantage to me, I learned many things from their talk. Then Ganpatra Boras in 1944, he directed 7 dramas staying at Giriraj. That time he was into us, so he used to keep, and he used to eat pan. So cut karke wo pan kya banana. Then he used to say, my shop is open from 9 o'clock till 9 p.m. Any artist can come take lessons. He had most of the dramas on his tongue tip. And he had a very good pronunciation for how Marathi should be spoken. And most of the old artists, Londe, Naresh, Bal Gandharva, I have seen all of them. So it is my luck.
Any prominent students whom you would like to, whom you remember?
I think D.R. Trivedi was probably the most prominent. Then Bapat was also there, but Bapat did not work me very long. But Bapat was a much better social person than many of my other students. Then as I told you, that person at Gujarat, Narkarni, he is the one who did research and we got from British Society, research grant. Then other two things stuck in my mind is Shiratti, who came from Sion, but was with me for 2-3 years. Shiratti has his own imagination, how to look at a problem. Then Dr. Kauri, who is still practicing surgeon. His wife is a PSM head at Somaiya. She was my wife's student. D.N. Pai. They were all very brilliant people. but DN Pai was not my student. But DN Pai, I have seen him fired by BN Purandar and others. He used to play badminton. Come on 1 hour. Her student is now, her son is now doctor. She was a hefty lady, and once she entered the stage, almost everybody was off. So these are the things. Chandu Agale, pediatrician. He was a drama, he used to act in drama. See, that time, that Lalbagh area, many students used to stay there. It was not all that Lalbagh type, a corner. So, many students have surpassed me by now.
And so you mentioned when you joined KEM, there was a time when prior to that there was honorary system existed.
Yes, but I have been taught by honoraries. I am very proud of it. But they was committed to teaching. I still remember one day, Balika had come from Delhi, all beard grown, etc. And 11:30 he came to the mall. He said, no, I want to take clinic. There he went home, took lunch and so. But he said, my students are first. GM Fadke used to regularly take all of us to picnic. Almost all fruits we used to eat with them. Then there used to be competition for singing Marathi songs, this, that. We had many parties from Muslim Munsif, from N.D. Patel was a shy type. He was a brilliant physician. He was physician to Vallabhbhai Patel. But very brainy fellow. Very brainy. His teaching was fantastic. Poor thing is, none of these teachers have left anything back. Only few of us who remember know the value.
So what are the difference of opinion between honorary and a full-time assistant?
I think it's foolish. Because I think neither system can really give good service to the... This of course now I know. So that when I went to Hinduja, they were saying full-time. I said yes, but full-time with a reserve. He said why? I said because in full-time there is no churning, there is no growth. I myself know, you become a salaried doctor. So like anything, clerk becomes head clerk, head clerk becomes something, OSD, etc. I said this is the bad part of salaried service. Unless you make up your mind and compulsorily retire all of them after 10 years. If you have to bring a good blood, you have to have a new student. Like army. If army there is no growth, you are compulsorily retired. If you can't become lieutenant, you retire as colonel or whatever it is. In army that system is there, British system. That means if there is no growth, don't stagnate people who become uncomfortable. Then they start panic, this, that, karigat, they say, not what. That is, I improved on this system at this hospital. What we did is, we gave for kharchi, for every first, we gave some amount. Okay, even if you don't earn, you have this amount to keep your home running. And whatever excess you earn, we started with 80%, then when we started earning more, we came to 75, furthermore 70. So 70% of your earning goes to you. But remaining 25-30% is yours. You can use it for academic conference, you can go abroad, you can take gadgets. So what I thought difficult in KM, we solved it this manner. Then the trustees used to give additional money from themselves. If 5 lakh है ठीक है, तुम्हें 2 lakh है, 18 lakh ले. Without interest, we have that money. Because money is so important. We may curse it, but the world runs on money. And the whole medicine becomes very expensive. Replacement. And an average doctor, I tell you, at the end of the day, he will compare full-time, part-time. This is what I learned from my consultant colleague. I said, we don't get more than 5-6 lakhs at the end of it. Tax, so what does a full-timer get today? Much more than that. And much more settled life, much more better family life. If you are good, you have less tragedies. You can pay attention to your children, education, etc. All these things are disappearing in society. So it is up to you. If you want to learn after Lakshmi, good luck to you, but don't repent. But Saraswati will never leave you, whether you are poor or rich or whatever. I still read a lot. another thing I feel is my age group came after the computer age. So I am not very good at computer use. My best gadget I use only cellular phone. But my grandson, they help me out. It's a very big gadget, computer, but it can cause havoc.
Instead of you using it, it starts using you.
Naturally, your patient use it. Patient 10 differential diagnosis लेके आता है without understanding what is it. Then you have to tell them, देखो भाई, अगर कंप्यूटर तुमको ट्रीट करेगा और हम ट्रीट करेगा. हमने पढ़ा है ना, सब ये ओके. Now keep that paper away. Let me use my judgment. You see, I always passed rise to catheter, IV starting, endotracheal suction, etc. I always did it myself. I trained my houseman to do it. कहते हमारे हम क्यों करेंगे? नहीं, तुम ही करना चाहिए. Call the NHS if you are in trouble, but you must know to intubate. You must know to pass the rise. So almost is 80 even in the hospital. I used to do it myself. I used to make, or I used to supervise. ऐसे डालते हो. That time gloves came. In KM there was no glove for putting the rise tube, etc. Means the disposable glove used for invasive procedures came after 75, 80. So this is how surgery has
So
grown.
Fogies catheter and all were put with bare hands that time.
Yeah. We
Just
didn't
wash
have.
hands and
Arey, we used to patch gloves. All nurses were told how to patch gloves. One of the question in exam used to be, show me how will you patch this glove. We were that delivery. It is only now, I think 85, 89 onwards, that disposable sterile and unsterile gloves are coming.
And most of the diagnosis at your time must be clinical more than
Absolutely.
investigation.
For me, the two friends were stethoscope, blood pressure instrument, and X-ray.
And nowadays we see younger generation being so much dependent on investigation.
No, but that is because you
I
get
see.
lost without
I
that.
see my residents when presenting round, they first, rather than telling patient symptoms and examination, jump to CT scan, not even basic, not even X-ray
That
and
is the tragedy of
ultrasound, CT
growth.
scan.
That is why America only wants atom bomb, doesn't want any other. But I think we have to go back to basic. Whenever you are in trouble, you go back to basic. As I often tell with due respect to Kothari, whenever I am trouble in anatomy, I still open my Cunningham, go back to osteology, find out what is this, review myself. It has helped me till today. Till some time I used to always remember 16 branches of middle maxillary artery. First part, second part, third part.
Any case in your career, sir, where you have, after the case has been done, sort of got into a feeling that if I would have done the other way around,
Oh,
the
many
outcome
times,
would
many
have been
times.
good.
Especially cancer surgery. See, cancer surgery has also evolved into 3 phases. The first was simple, diagnosis first. Then massive surgery, you remove large number of normal tissue, thinking you have removed cancer tissue. Then it became smaller, sentinel node, this, that, all. Then it became still smaller with invasion of linear accelerator and chemotherapy. So it's a classical example where things change. So when certain surgeries which I did that time, I think I would have not done today. But I don't want to blame also because we did not have that knowledge. It's very easy to say, but we did not have it. But in a way, I am happy because there was no physiotherapy department. It started during our time. So we learned a lot of putting the patient through walking, this, that, exercise. We didn't have a very huge biochemistry. Our biochemistry is limited to liver function, renal function, CBC, some pulmonary tests, that's all. Eosinophilia was a great diagnosis that time. So, radiology, so some underdevelopment that time made us a little more relying on ourselves. When I read the other day that you want an ultrasound to tap, what? To tap peritoneum.
That time there must not have been blood gases, blood gas
No,
analysis.
we were just introduced. Blood gases were domain of pulmonologists, S.D. Store and Kamath.
How would you assess the oxygenation of a patient clinically by
Sorry?
how would you assess oxygenation of a patient? Suppose any patient is on a respirator.
No, the anesthetists had
Acha, they had monitors.
the physician did not, there was nothing like ICU. Today, you do oxygenation, etc. at a tip of it. I carry myself simple pulse oximeter.
Pulse oximeter.
No, but there are many cases which are life saving. I am not blaming all.
Yeah, but one should know how much to rely on them and
No,
when not to use it.
sometimes when you are in trouble, to listen to what?
Yeah.
Because still, warm hands, full veins is anti-shock. You don't need central venous pressure, this that. So just when my cardiologist asked, I said, don't worry, I am fairly warm hand, my circulation is good. Why do you say? I said, simple. I said, this never changes. And another thing we always remember, a dry skin and a moist mucous membrane is the best resistance against bacteria. Simple biology. आजकल क्या होता है, not students fault either. If somebody has paid lot of money, whether your own or parents or whatever it is, you always feel under pressure that you have to generate. And that's not a good thing. So, to me, capitation fee has been good as well as bad. Because the government never knew when to stop. As we often say, no, it's not what you can operate, but when you should not operate makes you a better surgeon. That has been a lot of time.
Sir, but it was pleasure. Journey through so many years.
Yeah. But that is what I always wanted to, because my daughter keeps on saying, why don't you write? हमको क्या होता है, I am not very good at continuous writing and I don't know much of the shorthand. And आजकल after 10 o'clock, I am the only soul on this floor. So then you have to call somebody, you have to dictate. So now when you told me, I said, took the opportunity. Let me put it in black and white. I wanted evolution of KEM hospital, JHP. I was very keen on my personnel.
Yes, sir. But we wanted everything intertwined.
एक किती पान होईल होईल मला एक कॉपी द्या
Sir, तुम्हाला video पण द्या.
नाही I will make it fine and give it to my daughter if she wants to.
व्हिडिओ पण देणार
Huh?
व्हिडिओ सीडी पण देतो
Yeah. Anyway, because of one more thing is what. My wife was always keen that I should write. And as usual, like a male, I say, forget it. There are so many people who are writing. What will I write? Then I read Nerukar's Bapat, then Kamath. Then I suddenly realized that most of them are writing about themselves. But nobody has, because not that they don't want to, but they have not seen the whole Kenya.
Correct.
Maybe myself, Parulkar and very few are left, not more than 8-9 people, who have seen the evolution of medical education in Kenya. Jurar Mehta was a terror, but he was a disciplinarian, he brought a lot of good things to Kenya. His daughter was matron for many years.
Niece.
Huh?
Niece.
Nisa, क्या उसका नाम?
दुर्गा
Durga में, Durga में, Nisa.
We took her interview.
These were the time when independence was just coming. So the generation which was between 42 to 50 was exceptionally dedicated to the nation. This continued till 60-65. After that, the type of politician kings that you have got, you would rather stay away from it. That's what it is. They have made it a job, a profession, danda.
In Girgaon, where were you staying in Girgaon? Where were you staying in Girgaon?
Girgaon, you know Ganpati Mandir, Prakash Dugda Mandir,
On the main road.
main road, BP road, between just before CP tank, about a kilometer. Sikka Nagar, you know.
So I studied there.
And then my building is just near it. One before, Narayan Sagar.
Because I studied in modern school.
Model school was a very, even Vyas I think studied in model school. Yeah, for a gynecologist.
Huh.
Yeah.
No, I think she studied in fellowship.
Pakwasa and 2-3 girls studied in that.
She studied in because modern school's principal daughter studied in New Era. And New Era's, I was told New Era's daughter, that means Dr. Vyas, studied in fellowship. And fellowship children studied here. ऐसा कुछ किया था उन्होंने.
Yeah, but there was a good internal arrangement, I think. There was competition, but fairly healthy.
So this theatre, how did it come there, where it is? On your
See, what
father's-
happened, that was a Christian cemetery. There is another Christian cemetery opposite, Muslim opposite. They wanted to sell off that land and they were not getting many buyers. In Marathi drama, Shankar, who stays in Smashan, he is our deity. So my father said, hey, our deity is staying in Smashan, why not buy and do it? And we got it pretty cheap. It was not much choice, but that time, that is the time of 54, 55, Girgaon did not have many empty spaces to construct a theatre.
I grew up in Gilgam, so I know it. Khotachewali and Khotachewali. So that's how your father had purchased it?
For the institute, not myself.
No, no,
Actually, that was the way we started the debt. If mortgage our building, this, that. And it was almost 1960 that I paid off all the debt.
So that's why you said you almost committed suicide
Yeah.
when you made that statement.
You see, point is, you often want to do many things, but if it is not possible, you go to the next best. If my father was rich or alive, I may not have entered full time. That time there was no competition in full time.
But did full time do good to you?
The Hinduja type, I think they have to pay better. If you want full-time doctors, this reminds me of Singapore president. He overnight tripled the salary of ministers. So somebody asked him, he said, if I pay well my minister, they will be non-corrupt. Because corruption starts from some need. It is not, everybody is corrupt from beginning. When there is some need, education, marriage, house, something, that is where the corruption starts. That Lee Kuan Yew, that Singapore, that is why he could create a big place in Singapore, though small. So according to me, the politicians see to it that they are well paid, but not much resources are spent on education or public health.
But overall, how would you look at your years as a full-timer in KA?
I was very happy. To me, my basic mental growth as a teacher, बोलते हैं हाथ का कंडू बोलते हैं, that means desire to operate, was all satisfied by KA. I remember one night when I had done 3 vagotomy pyloroplasty for a ruptured duodenum. I was a registrar. Such opportunity do not come abroad or anywhere. At our time, the registrar was the operating physician. Consultants rarely came. It is only now with new rules that tutor has to stand, lecturer has to stand. But they were always available. I remember calling Vatan Chet once and he came at 2 a.m. If I am in difficulty, I must know I am in difficulty. That's my job. But they always came and they owned the responsibility. They never said, कि हमारा दिस अभी की है. ये कभी नहीं हुआ. Because after all, human being is bound to make mistakes. But we never had very aggressive yellow journalism We did not have very aggressive police department. So we were lucky. There was not too many social media things. So there was a time to give your side of your view of the side. Today the doctor is already in the chair before he knows what he has done. It may be good from many, but it's not good for medicine. Because I can tell you one thing, very few surgeons will do tomorrow transplant by choice. It is not that much money in transplant as what they claim. I know my economic will be the hospital. We are not highly paid, but I know how much money transplant makes for the surgeon, for the nephrologist, for the hospital. It's not very great. Open heart and other people make much more money, just working 1 hour. In transplant you struggle for 3 hours, donor se nikalo, receive में डालो, liver में तो you spend 8 and 9 hours. And what is the reward? This is one of the things whether transplant could catch up only in America. Even in England they are not caught up. And in Austria, all dead bodies belong to the country. That is how Europeans scored over us. That because country is spending for you. When you die in a hospital, you will be given body only if that organs are not required. Or after removal of organ. You have no choice. No litigation, no nothing.
The Austria.
And also take total responsibility. There are trained transplant surgeons, they are called. In China it is other, all prisoners are donors. This is a very way the how society changes. They ask, jaldi marne ka hai? Don't donate karo. So was on in Vietnam. Now Vietnam has changed. North Korea, I am told, is still the same. You have not much choice whether you donate or not donate.
So do you have some photographs and anything
Of which
pertaining to KM and all?
I have to search it. इसमें है, बढ़िया से मिल भी जाता है.
No, because then we can just, we won't take it away from you. We can
I'll have to
just
search. I'll give it, send it to you. There must be some in old file, but I have not run it out. I got one with Balika, Farke, so I could send those. Those I will send you.
And sir, do you have some of those papers which really made impact?
Sorry?
Because Dr. Sunil Pandya said, now all everything comes on net, we can pick up. But in your time, in early 50s and
We had to go through journals and textbook.
They said, but so whatever papers you wrote at that time,
Yeah.
some of those kind of papers, because we can't get them from our...
But all my papers are in library. I have got a sample of them. But we always read in library books. That time, I used to be in library almost 10, 11 hours. The bound volumes. Now actually the computer and other things that come now. Now you can get the information at the drop of a key. But for us, we had to hunt out.
Okay, right. No sir, what papers you wrote in journals, if you have a copy of that.
Yes, I have got
Which
some.
are those which are not, we can't locate on the computer.
Sorry, not done?
From the Google search, we
No,
can't
they are all on typewriter and
So those kind of...
including thesis. I got some copies.
So those things, we will just have it and then return yours.
Anybody want some more tea?
तर तुमचा चहा गार झाला.
Darling, मी नंतर घेईन. I have got water restriction, so it's good I have not taken.
So she kept pace with you. She has kept pace with you.
Oh, she, yeah. I know her long time. She is a teacher, no, you?
GBT पासून
अच्छा, जीबी पासून. आता you are retired. This was the only known face to me after the other deans came. So I used to recognize her. She used to recognize.
डॉक्टर मिसेस बांदेराव माझ्या फार चांगल्या मैत्रिणी होत्या. आम्ही सतत असायचो बरोबर.
Yeah, but I tell you, I have very good memory of quite a few clerks in this Kharvandikar, Kotlekar, not Kotlekar. I still remember. Ramchandra, I already told you, anatomy section.
Ah, he was there. I think
Then
he
that
just
Dr.
retired.
Davolkar, Ramchandra Sulu Karaicha, that physiology, simple art, muscle art. That time, quite a few of the lecturers were practicing general practitioner. PM Mehta was general practitioner. Pereira was general practitioner. Then Davolkar was general practitioner. Many.
Mamre?
Huh?
Mamre, but
Mamre later on, huh?
came later.
Left by
Shanbag,
later.
Mamre, they come later.
All there. But this was a tradition. Even during Baliga's time, Kaikai etc. Kaikai nahi. क्या नाम है उसका कई. They were all practicing general physics practitioner. And in the afternoon, after dispensary class, they used to come to teach physiology, to teach pharmacology, to teach some pathology and anatomy.
You had DP Mehta in anatomy?
No.
They already left. Because sir would refer that he was father of this.
हाँ उसका छोकरा था ना anatomy में. PM मेहता का छोकरा था ना.
हाँ वही इसलिए आप उसको पूछ रहे हो कि
But PM Mehta used to astonish us. He used to remember so what. Tibialis anterior, this, that. Practice higher are never paid. Talented people are not angry, no? Something. तब फोटो हम देखते हैं बैठे.
very nice sir. Thank you so much.
Pleasure. It was a good nostalgia.
So when first thing he asked me, I said, you do not worry. These people have been real teachers. Once he knows what he has to convey, you will not have to ask even once. They will narrate the whole thing. That's what he did.
Yeah.
You agree?
Yeah, definitely.
See, because you people have taught. Yeah, exactly the classes. We had quite many classes by him.
But teaching
General
is
surgery.
the health of a surgeon, not surgery alone. So that's why I said till 5 years back, I was still taking classes for our DMD student and all. But anatomy has always taught me a lot of things. See, anatomy is like Mahabharata, standing there all the time, not going away here and there.
येतो हे झालं की फोटो.
Thank you. sir.
Thank you, sir.
In that cup, when he was going to his house, we came to individual hospital, he was a patient. So he later on came to see me. He brought a present. I said, "What is this? Is the cup where your father had taken tea. And they had preserved it.
Your father was also a doctor?
Now LCPS.
Because it didn't come out of this.
Now I told you about Dr. Valigana
Huh?
National College.
Achha, National College you are referring to is
Topiwala National.
Topiwala National. Okay.
That has come a freedom movement.
Okay.
College Dr. Sangeet.
LCPS. But he was more interested in drug.
Later on. But that's a different story. I think